Route to Evacuation is made by a team of the Hiku Collective called Black Box. This is a part 1 type situation where the mod isn't finished, but the first couple of chapters are here. The art direction, pacing, and overall gameplay, even if it's relatively short, is quite impressive. We even get Gina Cross's shotgun, which is, you know, always a welcome addition. This is a mod of Black Mesa, which is something I did a few months back in a far too long video when I was first starting on YouTube. There are actually several mods within Black Mesa that leverage its graphical fidelity, including a Blue Shift remake. Route to Evacuation, meanwhile, you play as a scientist attempting to survive and also presumably escape the Resonance Cascade scenario. The Black Mesa incident has occurred, and here we are just being some random scientist dude. Right immediately at the start, we have a head crab, but there are also flares around. The zombie over here is sleeping, so he isn't flammable until I go and wake him up. I do light him up though. If the lore on zombies is to be believed, then the person inside is fully aware, so this is potentially gruesome if that's true. This looks familiar. I'm pretty sure I'm not cleared to know anything about this, however. Must be that new guy who was always late. That seems more his department. There's a lot of detail here. In fact, there's a lot of detail throughout. The level design once more looks like we're in Black Mesa. I'll try to sightsee some, as there is plenty here. I always enjoy level design in games like this. The button is malfunctioning, I assume, as it takes multiple tries to open the door. Zombie lunch. Right now we don't have much, and throwing chairs at zombies seems ineffectual. There are also barnacles already anchored into the base. How long was I out? Where's a crowbar or monkey wrench or whatever tool we're getting this time around when you need one? Because I need one. You know, the aliens seem to have seemingly just moved in and set up shop pretty much immediately. You see these a lot in the beginning, just random teleportation events that don't actually produce anything. Seemingly this is just destabilization between Zen and Earth, but who knows. It's cool though. There's a plug down here to deactivate the turret above. I like how the automated messaging system pages maintenance immediately following my disconnection of it. We'll get to see a lot more plug action in Swelter. Stay tuned. Playing with the barnacles and head crabs, I go over to look through the security window door, and I guess I die from a heart attack? It's a work in progress, no biggie. Second time around, I just literally walk right into the closing door and die. I was so preoccupied with head crabs, I was oblivious to the clear and obvious danger present here. This dead scientist gives us our tool weapon, a blue crowbar. Unfortunately, I can't break open the soda machine to get the delicious healing juice within. Could have sworn Black Mesa is where I encountered the ones that break open and you can heal from them. But I've played so much Half-Life lately, I'm not sure now. You can still order one at a time to heal, if you're really patient. More of these. I'm curious where this takes place in the timeline of the Black Mesa incident. The Hiku are also already here, as we'll eventually discover, so I guess my dude has been out for a bit. Just lying unconscious and not having a head crab noshing on his head. This poor, sad, dejected zombie is over here, stuck in this room, banging his head against the door. Maybe we'll be back for him later. You gotta be pretty good at this, especially early on, at least until we get the Beretta. This is another one of those lobby type rooms that seems to occupy the spaces along the rail network. This must be an auxiliary, or at least a smaller entrance area, as it's considerably smaller than the one Gordon Freeman arrived at and passed through.
Is that you? Damn, man, I don't know how you got here, but it's good to see you. Come on in. Do you know what's going on here? I think it's because of an experiment in the adjacent Sector C. I tried to organize people, but I didn't succeed. They panicked. One scientist volunteered to find help, but unfortunately he never came back.
Oh hey, it's a rail system here. There's even a map. There's also this giant ventilation fan. Naturally though, it's out of order. It's a scientist with a gun? I mean, I guess that checks out. First sign of this invasion, and I'm picking up some sort of weapon. Of course, if I was in this event, I'd be a zombie long before I ever found a weapon.
Look, I'm not going to keep you here, but I've got some bad news for you. The monorail is not working. There's no way out. Well, you can try to get out through the technical tunnels, but you'll have to go back in. I'll activate the emergency system. The way in will be unblocked. Be careful, the path will become much more dangerous. Take the gun on the table. You'll need it on the road. Good luck, and don't forget about us if you make it to the surface.
Hey, we got our gun. We don't have a lot of ammo for it, and we'll need to make sure every shot counts if possible, as there won't be a lot of ammo initially.
Are we getting any closer?
I'm conserving ammo here. I don't know it yet, but pistol ammo will be a premium currency for a little bit here. I want that gun, but I just can't get it. It'd have more ammo. I see this Vorty here attempting to heal his compatriot, and I think he might be friendly, but he is most definitely not, and probably angry that we killed his companion. This is that rare visage that earlier iterations of Half-Life didn't cover, that show that the Vorties aren't just mindless monsters, and in fact have feelings and desires as well. Oh hey, remember the sad, dejected zombie? He's not beating his head against a door anymore. I guess it's time we beat his head in instead. We're crossing back the way we came to get to the next section. I realize now why so many of these locations were so highly detailed, as some of them are accessible now, just with Vorties either present or teleporting in. I'm just trying to fight in this office here and use whatever little cover might exist to evade the charges. Ammo is also starting to get real low now, and I'm contemplating whether I'm going to have to be charging Vorties with a crowbar or not. Entering the security room causes a pair of Vorties to spawn in from behind. I flubbed the grenade toss, but I still have enough pistol ammo for them. There isn't much left after, but fortunately there are 2 more clips just up ahead. They seem to have found the ideal amount of ammo to make you conserve, but not have to resort to the crowbar.
It's a freaking zoo up ahead, Doc. Try to stay low. Well, if you don't want to haul the shit bitten out of you, that is.
One random survivor here, although considering how he's surrounded, it seems remarkably still around. Ahead there are a fairly large group of hound eyes, at least considering I have maybe 2 clips with the pistol. I have a crazy plan, and it kind of sort of works. Blow up the barrels to kill the hound eyes, but also not blow myself up. It does work, and I only need a clip of ammo to do it. Is this some sort of transport area with a canal, bringing in supplies via a water route somewhere? Pretty big area nonetheless. I see from this side that a pipe is pouring out water. Perhaps this wasn't a canal before the explosion that blew open that pipe, and it just flooded as a result. I'm distrustful of this big room, waiting for enemies to spawn in. My instincts here are correct, but my timing is a little off. This zombie refuses to cooperate and just tries to walk away. The security room up here has a revolver. I almost really want Otis's Desert Eagle at this point, but this is good too. More importantly, I now have 2 different sets of ammo, so I'm running around with at least a little more ammo for larger groups. Additionally, there's a suit of armor here. Much like in Swelter, we now have the ability to utilize HEV energy, just without an HEV suit. Pushing this button spawns into the enemies as I was expecting when I entered the room. At least now I have some HEV armor to soak up some of the damage I'm taking. This bull squid doesn't live long enough to become the nemesis enemy they were early on in Black Mesa. I think this is the only one that I encountered too. Additionally, I also believe he was shooting at the Vorti, which I don't remember seeing that interaction before. Oh, right, I have grenades. I forgot I still had these. I don't get many of these, but they are occasionally valuable. Automated turret section. This one is relatively easy as I can just run to the room and switch off the turret. The later Hiku turrets will be a little more problematic with the tripwires. This is an interesting turret section where I have to use a Hiku ballistic shield to approach without taking too much damage. There are also the bodies of the Hiku here, presumably killed by the automated defenses. This is also an indication of what is to come. This mod, even as small as it currently is, does a good job of bringing in a lot of the staples of the Half-Life universe.
Echo Squad, come in. Squad Commander Lars reporting. Advancement halted. Defensive system of the complex is active. We have casualties. Squads 2.1 and 2.2 have regrouped at fortified positions. Squad 2.3 is advancing into the office complex. Over. Roger that, Echo. Squad Oscar is taking control of the facility. Await further instructions. Over. Copy that, HQ.
This is neat and I really like it. We get radio stories just like an opposing force. I hope they can continue to do this as they develop the rest of the mod. Also, Gina Cross's shotgun is here. I always love that. The tripwires set off turrets. I've seen this before, but this one I get chewed up in multiple times. Even when I do figure it out, I still take a lot of damage. Unfortunately, I forgot to take out the first turret at the beginning and I get shot as I travel down the tunnel with it shooting behind me. Okay, cool. We got kind of an interesting arsenal going on, similar to Black Mesa, but different enough to make things feel at least a little bit more unique. We also got the revolver super early. Oh hey, it's some of the food from Black Mesa and maybe some other variants. There's also a taco on this one tray. Where can I work where there are tacos in the break room? This ventilation leads to Hiku executing people. We finally get some ventilation. I sure hope there's a diagonal elevator somewhere in the future. You gotta have that in a Half-Life game. I initially think I'm bypassing a security checkpoint by hopping into this vent shaft, but either I set off an alarm which opened things up, or the sneaking part is just a placebo as the doors open and let everyone in.
Copy that, sir. Taking up the positions.
This one lone Hiku wasn't actually alone. A trio pushing through the other side and the shotgunner just charges right up to me. After him, a grenade blows up on me. If I was on the highest difficulty, I probably wouldn't have survived that. As it is, I'm barely surviving anyway. As I stated earlier, this has seemingly opened up all the doors and the checkpoint is now aware of my presence. Fortunately, I had the wherewithal to eliminate that turret in the middle room though, so I don't have to deal with that. This is a great little section with the Marines, and I'd forgotten how grenade happy they are in Black Mesa. Look, it's one of my favorite parts of Half-Life, the AI on AI violence. I get to see at least one part of this battle, but as always, the enemies are always far more concerned with my presence than anything else.
Squad 2.3, taking losses. Provide support immediately. 2.3, hold the defense. Assistance is on the way. Copy, sir.
The illusion of choice. The security guard offers his supplies of ammunition and we take everything. Hope that's okay. Surely you were just offering a few rounds and not your entire stock. He's in for a bit of a surprise when he checks after I'm gone. What could possibly go wrong? Vorties teleport in, and I try to turn that turret back on, which gets me zapped for the price of that attempt. No turrets, I have to eliminate them myself. The Marines in this one section are talking about how a sneaky person might slip through. I fancy myself a sneaky person and attempt it, but you know, I don't really do stealth in any sort of successful capacity. I sneak, but it doesn't work out. They hear me in the tunnels, or maybe the stealth is just a placebo again. This vent actually does allow me to bypass at least one turret. The game did say there were at least 2 routes to take depending on where you wanted it to go, or at least where you wanted to end up. This radio, if it is unclear as I'm in the middle of a battle while they're talking, is mentioning some enemy in an HEV suit, and that the Marine should hold their positions. I wonder who that could be. I guess the new guy who is late all the time is doing something important, but that doesn't concern me, and I doubt I have the clearance for it.
Penetration zone. Do not engage in combat. Hold the defense. Over.
Unauthorized biological forms detected in Sector E.
Now, this is interesting. There are some spent medkits over here, although we don't leave them behind when they are used. This is an interesting idea to do this. I suspect we'll see something like that soon enough in a different mod though. This vent catches my eye. I don't know where it goes or whether it even matters, but since it's up here I gotta find a way to it and see where it goes. One direction leads us to a stack of HEV armor that sadly doesn't do much for the remains present nearby. There's some random voice in here. I look around for someone who might be hiding, but there's no one. I guess I'm losing it with all the stress from fighting my way here. These zombies have lights on them, and because they don't immediately open fire, I hesitate, considering I can't actually see who or what they are. At least until one tosses a barrel at me. This is a very neat effect of the flashlights. Things aren't going well for the Marines. We might be in surface tension already. This is a nice and big battle, which is sadly close to the end. I think it's just the Marines, but then the Vorties jump in and clean up. One even teleports in behind me. I'm fully equipped though, so they don't stand much of a chance, especially since the Vorties just seem to stop pushing my position after they wipe out the Marines. There's this HEV terminal here, reminiscent of the kind the Black Ops had in Opposing Force, but it doesn't seem to work. And this is it. The long elevator ride up. That's it. Short and sweet, although also only part 1. Still the same high quality throughout, just like Black Mesa. I'm glad we got to see some other perspectives than just Gordon Freeman. I'll be awaiting news of the next part of this in whatever form it finishes as. If you have an hour or so to kill, you can't really go wrong here. If you somehow made it all the way here, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great week.